What's up, YouTube? My Cowboys family.
What's up, Cowboys?
Bringing you guys another update on the Dallas Cowboys today. Give us just a second while we test our...
We have a new piece of equipment here. Nothing major, just we want to give it a try and see how it works. And if anybody's on here, let us know. It's just starting up, so going slow.
What's up, YouTube? My Cowboys family.
What's up, Cowboys? It's not bad. It's not bad.
I think
Wolf
it
Rider,
sounds...
what's up?
I think it sounds much clearer, guys. Let us know. We are testing out a little bit of new audio
right now we're
today.
testing. Yeah, Wolf Rider. Yeah. First of all, hi again.
Thanks for joining us.
Hello again. Hope you had a good day, if you know what I mean. Can you let us know how it sounds? How does the audio sound? Because we have a new microphone and we're trying to give it a try. Cowboys had a rough day today. Well, we're going to go through that in a second there, Eagle fan. Again, Eagle fan, this is I just want to know, give us some feedback on how this audio sounds.
We're testing out some new audio things that we have set up now. So
new microphone, a little bit better than before, we hope. Give us a second here. Just there you go. Okay. So does that sound all right, guys?
Guys, let us know how we sound.
We're just getting everything set up. It's 10 o'clock on the East Coast.
And
just checking some last second information here for the Cowboys, but we had not that rough. You said we had a rough day, Eagle fan?
I mean,
it's good. Thank you, Wolf.
Not as bad as normal, but you know, there you go. So hi, Patrick, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
Patrick's back.
Thanks for letting us know.
Thank you, guys. Sounds good. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Does it sound better than before, or about the same? Just curious on that too. If you guys can, if you guys remember how it sounded before.
All right, guys, so it looks like we are almost done setting up here. So I think we can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
awesome.
Let's rock and roll, guys. So first off, welcome back, guys. Of course, as usual, we're happy you guys are joining us. I know that there's a couple of the streams going. They're all kind of shutting down. So we're going to give you the last word of the day on Cowboy news and other things too, football related. We're going to try to make it around 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Not as bad as normal. All right, well, I mean, that's better. That's an improvement. All right, guys. We're working off my laptop microphone initially.
So how about them Cowboys? Thanks for joining us tonight, guys.
Cool. Hey, that's awesome.
Hi, Boomer.
We just finished
Oklahoma. Wow, all the way from Oklahoma. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, guys. So, like we were saying, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Before that, though, I just want to say, guys, if you're new here to this stream, make sure you hit like. Subscribe if you haven't. I know most of you guys already have. So if you haven't, just hit subscribe. Hit the little alarm bell, notification bell.
That way you don't miss any of our live streams or videos.
And remember, it's going to be game day live streams every week for our Cowboy games. So
that's right.
So anyways, let's kick it off with Zeke. The big news, Zeke. And we all know, everybody knows the situation. I'm not going to go over it again and again and again.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about the new things today.
Yes. So to start things off, Ezekiel Elliott's dad did post some statements to Facebook, to Twitter.
That was earlier this morning today. That was the first thing. So
saying that, they have proof saying that she had told him.
She as in the accuser.
Yes,
remember that.
She is in the accuser, that she said directly to Ezekiel Elliott, you're a black athlete, I'm a white woman, no one is going to believe you, harassing him, that she called him, several,
well, before that, though, let's not even do the phone calls. That's later. That's just a newer thing. What you were saying, though, about the what she said, that the dad, Ezekiel Elliott's father, posted some information saying that he has some proof of these things. Just a couple real quick paraphrasing quotes. She said to him, "Be smart, don't be a dumb man." That's supposedly quoted. She also, of course, we knew this already, but it's more proof of this coming out, that she yelled at him in front of everybody that over various times. This just wasn't once, that she threatened that his career is over. Also, of course, what you just said, you're a black male athlete and I'm a white girl. So who are you going to believe? They're not going to believe you. So she's just basically threatened to ruin his career. So as you can see, her threats are obviously, came through with the NFL's ruling.
And on top of that, Ezekiel Elliott did actually try to file harassment charges against her. The charges were dropped.
And that's the new, kind of more new, a couple hours ago was kind of released.
We did not know that information recently.
Yeah, and again, that was something new. I don't know if they even disclosed that, but he had filed a harassment charge on Tiffany Thompson, which is the accuser. And what happened was, when he was being investigated for the domestic violence, this is during this is months after. I think it was September, and this thing supposedly happened in July. So all the way in September now, and she was calling his house at 2:30 in the morning. She called him from 2:30 to like 4 in the morning, 50 times, over 50 times, guys. And if she's somebody who got beat up the way she said she did over a span of 3 or 4 days, do you think she'd be calling him 3 months later to try to desperately call him and get back with him or whatever it was? Why else would she call? So
exactly. So, and again, that combined with the other evidence that we know existed, combined with, you know, again, they allege that there's other things, you know, and one of the biggest factors as well, as far as the investigation side of things, apparently Roger Goodell was not really involved in the decision. He, you know, didn't attend any of the meetings. He didn't see anything. I mean, he stayed completely away from it and allowed the board to kind of come to a conclusion and decision. 4 people that are investigating that, and they allowed them to come to a conclusion, come to him with the findings, and then he just kind of made the final decision. Now, these people, all 4 of these independent, so-called independent people, they interviewed Zeke. They actually, when they called him to New York about a month and a half ago, they met with him, but Goodell did not meet with him. So it was kind of like he hasn't even been involved in the process. It's almost like he's looking for a way out in case this thing goes bad, which is getting worse for the NFL and for especially Roger Goodell as every day passes with this. And Zeke and Jerry Jones and the Cowboys are going to fight this. So definitely expect some news out from the Zeke camp tomorrow in regards to how they're going to appeal. Well, exactly. He's definitely appealing. It's just they said he's trying to wait till, I guess, the last moment. And I think Wednesday's the last day. So they're going to appeal tomorrow evening. I don't know when, but it's going to be tomorrow sometime. They're going to officially appeal. And then they'll go into the process of seeing what's next. I mean, there's a lot of choices for Zeke on this. And he could actually go to Roger Goodell and explain, I promise to be better, you know, please take the appeal and give me half the time or something like that. And he could grant that. Or he can say, I didn't do anything. I don't want to be labeled this. I don't want this to be on my career. I didn't do anything wrong. I have evidence of, you know, that shows opposite of this. Exactly. And I'm taking you to court if you don't reinstate me. And remember, guys, this is a big deal because if Zeke is found for whatever reason guilty or found, you know, violating the domestic, by the NFL, violating their domestic violence policy or whatever, he could be banned for life from the sport. Which, and guys, that's a threat. It's not going to happen, guys. We understand, but the fact that it could even be a threat when he isn't even guilty of whatever it is that they're saying. At least the evidence is zero evidence that points to his guilt. So, of course, we don't want to keep going over and over again because it's a long story, but it is very important. Yeah, so we'll definitely keep you guys updated. Yeah, we talked about the running backs that are going to be taking his spot, and we're not really too worried. It does change things some, but we're not as worried as probably most teams would be if they lost their best player. So, you know, losing our best player, we got 4 guys going to fit right in there in the meantime. And again, because of all this stuff happening, it's kind of looking worse for the NFL and Roger Goodell every day. Bigger chance that he actually going to play during the season. It might be pushed off like the Brady, you know, Deflategate thing, where it took a whole year. So he might actually play the whole season. We don't know. Yeah. So, I mean. And Boomer, you make a good point. So you said if you look at Thompson's injuries at her hands on her knuckles, it looks red. Something. It looks like she punched something or someone. Yes, sir. If she says Zeke hit her, why does she have bruises on her knuckles? So, and again, if you go back to what happened, that's been almost verified by eyewitnesses, by Zeke and by other people, that she had a fight. She started a fight with a woman that she thought that Zeke was kind of hanging out with after they broke up. So they got in a fist fight. Mets? How you doing? What's up, the Mets? Meet the Mets. She got dragged out. Oh, it's not dragged out, but she was pulling hair with another woman supposedly in the street, fighting on the floor, kicking, scratching, punching. So those things seem to correlate more with the bar fight than it is any kind of domestic violence over a 3-day span. And I mean, if it's what she said it was, and if you saw those pictures, it looks like it should be a lot worse for 3 days of beatings. Exactly. I mean, by somebody as big as Zeke, as strong as Zeke. So it just seems like nothing here is matching up, but somehow the NFL matched it up and cherry-picked it to fit their agenda. Which is we're strong against domestic violence. Right, and he wanted to make a message. Anyways, this is what our belief is. Who knows? So, again, we're going to say if he's guilty, he should be suspended for the whole season. Not just 6 games, but nothing points to him being guilty, guys. But Barry B, and again, we understand why he might not win the appeal fully, why he still might have 1 or 2 game suspension because of the incident in St. Patrick's Day, and for that, we understand completely why the NFL feels they need to suspend him. But when it comes specifically to the domestic violence aspect of it, we definitely disagree. but he definitely could be just facing that 2-game suspension next year.
Freddie, I agree, Freddie. And we have faith either way in our team, with or without Zeke, we'll be fine. I was born in Jersey as well. But no, I wanted to say, going back to that, the thing about the appeal by Barry B, by the way, hi. Give us a like, subscribe, hit the notification. Make sure you guys, stay on top of our daily. Right now, live streams will be definitely daily, at least one video a day, whether it's live stream or not. Anyways, back to what I was saying. What Barry B said, there is something that it's going to take a lot to have this appeal actually go through. Even if you just look at the explanation, because the NFL said they went through everything. So you have to show new information to actually have the appeal work. Yeah, so it's not going to be like he's going to show the information again and talk about it his way, and then they're going to say, okay, you're good. We understand now. It's going to be like, no, Goodell's going to make the decision again on this, and he's going to say, we reviewed all these things. We already know what you're going to say. No overturning, and then Zeke's going to take him to court.
Exactly.
Which is the next step. Once that goes there, if they get to the injunction, you can forget about it. He'll play probably most of the season, if not the whole season. So it's really up to Goodell. How much dirty laundry does he really want to put out there? Really, it's going to come down to...
Or again, like someone said earlier, does he, kind of take maybe a lesser suspension and maybe take something a little differently, and just kind of each side calls it what it is.
We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But it's definitely going to get interesting. And I think this time, even though it looked like Zeke got the worst end of this, it kind of looks like the NFL's going to really screw themselves on this one today. I mean, with this situation.
Yeah, it seemed like no matter what decision the NFL took here, they might have ended up looking a little bit bad. But the fact that this is the way that decision went, I think this is going to make them look worse. And at the end of the day, it makes every other real victim of domestic violence look so much worse. And then,
well, not look worse, but just not look believed.
Not look worse, but just, it puts more burden of proof on them, to prove whatever claims they do have.
And at the same time, what is the NFL saying? The NFL is saying, if you get accused, get prepared to miss 2, 4, 6 games.
Exactly.
That's not fair to anybody in this whole league. I'm just saying, an accusation is not guilt. So, and again, this is an accusation that charges were dropped. And he was still suspended for 6 games, even though the evidence is overwhelmingly in his favor. And he should not be having to be the one that proves that he didn't hit her. He should, there's no proof that he hit her.
Exactly.
So why is it on him? The burden of proof on him. It should be on her. NFL, we know it's not like the law, like the legal system. It's different. They have their own little stupid little rules that the CBA was agreed to by the NFL Players Association. So there's a whole bunch of stuff going on there as well. But in the end, let's see how this thing plays out. Obviously, Zeke's going to fight it to the end. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys are going to continue to be by his side in fighting this. And it's going to be, a very drama-filled couple of weeks, I feel. And then we'll see what happens as it continues now.
All right, so moving on into the morning walkthrough of practice today.
Just want to start off. We'll go back to Zeke later if there's anything that needs to come out. But earlier we just discussed about everything, all the updates with Zeke and all the evidence he's filing in there. That the harassment thing, 50 calls and at 2 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, all those things. Very, very damaging to her side. But again, NFL supposedly already heard these things. So so that's kind of sucks. And by the way, I want to say hi to Cowboys Football News. What's up? Get on with the Zeke stuff.
What's up, guys? Hi to everybody who's watching now.
We have to always touch on Zeke because there's a new thing every day with this thing. So whether it's him, what he's going to do tomorrow, which is going to be appealing this, the suspension, and all these things, it's going to. Yeah, I'm looking here. Let me see. So Zeke is not fighting. Yeah, Barry B. Not fighting to play this whole season. He's also fighting for his... Correct. You're right. And that's... If he really didn't do this, and obviously he seems like the evidence is not showing that he did, he truly is going to fight this to the end. And I think, any man, any human, any woman, anybody, if they're convicted of something incorrectly, even if it's in not even the court of law, if it's the NFL or in your own job or whatever it is, you want to fight to save your image, your name, because everybody's going to look at him. Or when I wear a jersey 21, or you wear it, or our children wear 21, they're going to say, "Oh, they support that guy. He's a woman beater." That's not right. That's going to hurt him and his money, and so he's going to fight to the end on this one.
Yeah.
5 rings. What's up?
So hi guys again. Thanks for watching. Let's go ahead and move on. Like I said, to morning walkthrough.
So guys,
some good news is that we did have a lot of guys that haven't been practicing as much. Back in morning walkthroughs. The only person who was not out there today, other than our 4th or 5th string tight end who injured his ankle, was Tyrone Crawford.
And Hamlet's out for the year, so he's going to be cut anyways. But yeah, Tyrone Crawford obviously still not practicing. Now the morning walkthrough, guys, no pads. So it's just kind of walk through. They're not hitting. They're just running through things. Every single Cowboy player was out there except for Tyrone Crawford.
Yeah, so, what's up, Hollyway? How you doing?
Holly,
Thanks for joining us again.
So just to go over what happened in the morning walkthrough, and I'll take it from the morning and then the evening kind of practice, the padded practice. So everyone was there but Tyrone Crawford. On the offensive line, the coaching staff put out there, I'm going to read it to you here. They had Collins at the right tackle, which we knew that's happening, number 71. Of course, Zach Martin at the right guard. Center is, of course, Frederick. Left guard, they took out Bell. No Chaz Green either. They put Cooper back in. That means that the Cowboys are probably a little nervous about that left guard spot. So they tried Bell, he didn't look good. They tried Cooper the first week, he was and we were still waiting for Chaz Green to get off the injury list.
Yeah, so for now it looks like Cooper is still, you know, taking reps in with Bell back and forth. So. And
so we had Cooper there and Tyrone Smith. Tyrone Smith was in the walkthrough today, even though, he didn't do the later hitting contact drills. But I'm trying to say is that as a second team, Chaz Green was out on the field. He was on the field as a second stringer as playing behind Tyron Smith. So, you can put the puzzle pieces together there about what they're looking to do here, but you can kind of see what they're looking at in the walkthrough. Now, our defensive line, everyone wants to know what's going to happen. Starters, starters are going to be rotation. So the ones that started today, DeMarcus Lawrence, number 90. These four guys are the ones that we predicted. So right now it's looking like these guys are going to get those starting positions. DeMarcus Lawrence, number 90. Stephen Paya,
number 55.
We had Malik Collins in the middle. And we had Benton Mayowa, number 93, on the other end. On the other end. So, again, we're rotating guys in and out. So, of course, you'll have Irving come in when he comes back. DeMontre Moore coming in when he comes back. Yeah. You're going to, of course, have Taco in there. You're going to have Tapper in there. So, there's a lot of guys mixing and matching. You're going to have the guy from the former Eagles guy. What's his name? Cedric Thornton. So, he'll be in there, too. And I heard that he's actually pretty good on shot of making the team this year. He might not be there next year, but he's going to get it this year probably.
Yeah, so Dallas Cowboys Football News said Travis Frederick is nervous about that left side also. And it actually does show he kind of knows that he doesn't have that support when he puts, a guy on that side.
He's lesser.
Exactly. Yeah. So he feels like he has to kind of compensate. And again, he can't focus on that. He needs to focus on doing his job. He needs to know the person next to him.
And a lot of time at center with Frederick, he gets up right away and he'll bump a guy or push him, and they start moving this way or that way. And he has to push him over to Zach Martin, push him over last year to Ronald Leary, and he was confident in that. He did very good last year with that, and and so did the line. But this time, and this was yesterday, because on Sunday when they played their game, this is how it was. Other than Tyrone Smith, they had Emmett Cleary, which I don't know if he'll make the team, but they did have, Bell had to go between with a replacement guy on the left side, but he had Frederick on the right. And Frederick, every time he pushed the guy off to him, it was a shaky situation. So I'm not really too confident about that. We have to really see when all five are there. But for some reason, they're putting Cooper in right now, so that tells us something.
Yep. So Frankie G, thanks for joining us. What's up, guys? And everybody, we are testing out some new audio, so please let us know what you think. If the sound's not that great, let us know if it sounds better. Worse.
Yeah. We just got a new mic. So now defensive line, like I said, I already named them. Now they had the linebackers playing out there. This is still the walkthrough in the morning, no pads. They had basically they had Smith and Lee. Jaylon Smith was not in the walkthrough, not actually with the first team. And Sean Lee was not out there as well. He was out there doing some warm-ups and stuff, but not with the team drills in the warm-ups. So it was Hitchens, as we know, he's going to start. And we had Damian Wilson, and we had Kyle Wilbur. I like the way Wilbur looked the last game, so number 51. I think he's going to be good. Of course, Wilson's going to be number 57. He's going to probably be suspended sooner than later for a lot more games than 2 or 3. So we shall see what happens with that. But you can bet a 6-game suspension or more for him. But again, we had no Lee in. We had no Jaylon Smith playing with the starters on the walkthrough. And then the defensive backfield, which are, we had in the nickel package, we had Skandrick and we had Anthony Brown, both outside corners. In the slot, we had Jordan Lewis, which is good to see him back on the field.
Even though it's only walkthroughs with no pads, whatever, it's still nice to see him.
Yeah,
and it's good to see where the Cowboys envision him being in the future as well. Remember, he's supposed to be a better, more dynamic player than Awuzie, supposedly, which we
when it comes to coverage, when it comes to the slot cover and playing the guys up close, supposedly Jordan Lewis is the best one out of the 3 or 4 rookies we drafted this year when it comes to that position, cornerback, safety, whatever. Because sometimes safeties have to come up and play on the line a little bit. Sometimes depends what they're doing, but they had those 3 guys and the nickel. So you have 5 guys, three cornerbacks and 2 safeties in a nickel defense. which is a passing type of defense. So that's why they had Skandrick on the outside, who usually plays slot. So they had Skandrick playing outside. They had Anthony Brown on the other side, number 30, and then they had Jordan Lewis playing the slot, which is interesting. You didn't see Nolan Carroll out there starting. You didn't see, of course, Chidobe is still nursing an injury. So we'll talk about him in a minute.
Yeah, but Mr. Wright, I'm glad your daughter had a good first day of school. Yeah. Both of our kids had a good first day.
Yeah. So, and everybody out there who's going to school, I hope you guys had a good day too.
Yeah, I hope you guys had a good day. I know Hollywood, you took a nap, so good times, guys.
Yeah. So then our safeties, same two guys that we expect right now, Byron Jones and Jeff Heath. They were the starter, for the walkthrough.
Yeah. So Shallow Hal wants to know: do you expect more of our starters to play this weekend? I saw a lot of starters play for other teams this past weekend.
For sure.
Yes.
It's already been announced. Well, they announced Switzer and Jaylon Smith almost for sure going to be playing this week, so we're going to look at them for sure. And we're not saying they're starters. These are guys we haven't seen yet. Now, as far as starters, it all depends on Jaylon Smith.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So Dak, we might not even see. I mean, we might only see Dak Prescott in maybe one drive this whole preseason, just because if Tyron Smith's not playing, they're not going to put Dak back there.
They don't want to risk Emmett Cleary.
Tyron Smith is not going to play for the entire preseason, so I don't see them not having Dak take at least.
So they have to take some snaps
at least one drive.
What I heard on the Cowboys talk show and stuff like this, other news, that they're thinking of maybe putting Chaz Green at the left tackle instead of Tyron Smith for the preseason game, and then that would be enough security, they believe, to protect Dak's blind side. Yeah. Which if everybody knows football, the left tackle is the blind side if you're a right-handed quarterback, and we need to have that security, or else you're going to lose our quarterback. We can't risk that. So without Tyron Smith there, you're not going to probably see Dak play unless they move Chaz Green to that side. Now, Chaz Green, we'll get to him too. He got kind of destroyed today at practice by Taco, but we'll talk about him in a little bit when the hitting drills come. But I just want to say a quick little side note. Joe Looney, if you guys know who he is, he's our backup center, had a toe injury, still not in practice, like full blast. He was just, he didn't do he was just basically working out on the sideline with resistant cords. So just to kind of get him back into playing shape. I'm assuming he'll be back probably tomorrow or very soon, because they're already moving Jonathan Cooper over to the guard, and Cooper was working as as the spot for where Looney is, which is backup center. So, Cooper was working as a backup center. Now he's moved over to the guard, and Looney's going to probably come in soon, tomorrow or the next day. Not that I love him, I don't, but he is valuable in the sense he can play all the positions on the offensive line, especially center. So might save his job on the Cowboys. So that was it for the morning practice. The evening or late afternoon, here for us it's more like evening practice, but for them it's the afternoon practice, the hitting practice, the padded practice. Now, we're going to go through some guys here.
And real quick before we do that, Hollywood said he's really excited about our fantasy football league, so I'm glad you're excited. For anybody who doesn't know, we do have a fantasy football league. Go ahead and check the link in the description down below. It is a first come first serve 20-person league, so go ahead and join. It is just for fun. We're just going to have a good time, and obviously, we're going to trash talk in there
a little bit more than
but I'm glad you're excited. I'm already kind of starting to scout out some players.
Yeah, I think we have about like 7 or 8 spots taken already, so there's still 12 spots.
You do still have time.
And it's for
guys join.
Beginners,
and it's just for fun.
Experts. It's all for fun, but
from experts to beginners.
Well, you're pretty good too. And we're working together on the same team, guys. So I wanted to say also, just in case for the people that are on that don't know already. We do daily videos every day. Sometimes, now we're doing more live streams because the practice ends so late, so the news is a little later. And we only have time to make a video every evening, late night for us here on the East Coast, 10:30. So, we're wrapping up the night for us here. So that's why we kind of want to get all the information from Cowboy camps. That's why we're doing our live streams this late. A lot of times we're going to have just basic videos wrapping up the practices once they go back to Dallas, which would be after this week's game. It'll be back in Dallas. Central time, not the West Coast time, so we'll be doing these maybe a little earlier, or maybe having just videos at times, not really live streams. So we'll see. If it continues to work out with you guys and for us, we'll keep doing live streams as well. We'll see.
Yeah. So
these are fun. And I'm going to say, and if the guys don't know out there, hit like for the video. If you're all on here, it's like 15 or 16 of you guys, hit like.
Make sure to subscribe and hit the little bell next to it so you don't miss any updates on when we're live streaming or when we post a video.
You'll get all the live stream updates when you see that, and it'll be sent to you on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, whatever it is. to you know, when we're going on a live stream or our videos are posted. Now back to the Cowboys stuff.
So in the afternoon practice, obviously full pads, everything. I know I see a few of you guys saying that you're kind of disappointed in the way that Byron Bell was playing. How did he do in practice today?
Well, didn't hear much about Bell in practice today. Bell was kind of, I don't know where he was playing. He was probably playing, I'm going to assume, left guard with the second stringers. I'm assuming that. I'm not really sure. They didn't really go into too many details. I did see Chaz Green playing left tackle because Tyron Smith did not play. In the padded practice, a lot of guys didn't play. They were trying to get Tyron Smith out there, but he just kind of worked on individual drills and didn't really get into the team drills. So I think Chaz Green was working as his backup for now. With Jonathan Cooper as the left guard, Frederick, Martin, and then Collins on the outside. So that was our lineup right now. Bell was not there, Cooper was there, and they had Chaz Green replacing Tyron Smith. For now, you know, of course, that's just for the practice. When it's a full blast, it's gonna be Tyron Smith will be there, and for now, Jonathan Cooper. We're still gonna see what happens with Chaz Green. Maybe he'll be working at that guard spot too. We'll see. Now, when I saw Chaz Green today in the one-on-one battles, he was one-on-one with Taco today 2 times. Both times, the first time Taco kind of got around him inside. He kind of went inside like the way he did in the sack against the Rams. He kind of pulled a good move on Chaz Green and got on the inside of him. So he kind of burned him, and then on the second time, Taco just pummeled him. He just like bull rushed him to the ground, and Chaz Green fell back. I don't know, guys. I really hope Chaz Green's going to put up a better fight than that. This is his first day back in padded practice, so we shall see.
I will say it's one good. It seems like Taco is finally getting his footing. He's
a little more confidence too.
Yeah, he's not falling down as much. He looks, whatever kind of strength or conditioning program or bulking program they're doing with him is obviously helping him, and between coaching and experience, we're seeing these improvements pay off. So go Taco for now, but it is a little concerning that Chaz Green is struggling so much against the rookie already. We know he's coming back from some injuries and stuff, but honestly,
he's always injured.
Yeah, Chaz Green is one of those guys that if he's not looking solid, if he's not looking good, we definitely have some concerns when it comes to our offense.
Yeah, he might not make the team. You never know with someone like this who's always injured. Every single week he's injured with something else and he stays out. So if he's not on the field, you're not going to play that much or at all sometimes. Now,
let's see. How about them Cowboys? Byron Bell and Luke McCown will get better. Give them both a chance. They're just learning the offense.
I know. I mean, listen, there's still a fight for that left guard spot. So, it's going to be Bell, Cooper, and Chaz Green. It's still 3.5 weeks. So we'll see what happens there. Moving over to the, let me see, I'm trying to stay on offense here, so let's go through some of these guys. Bryce Butler. You guys, he got injured last week. Chidobe fell on his leg, he hurt his ankle or his foot. He was back in practice today. He actually made some nice catches. I did see some of the video on him. He looked good today in practice. He's almost looking like he's going to be playing in the game. If not, it's just precautionary, but he's obviously back in the field, the hitting, the running. So that's a good sign for Bryce Butler, number 19, who's our fifth receiver. So, that's great. Yeah. 4th receiver, I guess, actually, technically, because Switzer, our other receiver, he was not out there today. He was another guy that was going to try to work out in the field today, and of course, he was there in the morning practice. He was doing punt returns and all that stuff, but no pads. He was not out there in pads today. For the hitting practice, for the team drills in the afternoon. So that kind of sucks, but at the same time it's probably just precautionary. They really want him ready for this game is what I'm hearing. So they're trying to keep him fresh with no setbacks for this game.
Yeah.
Now let's see. I'm trying to stay on the offensive side, guys. So let me just quickly review this here because most of these guys are defense now. We're gonna be moving it over, but so I said about Ryan Switzer, his hammy, and then Dan Bailey. Just a quick little thing on Dan Bailey, guys. One of your favorite players there. Our field goal kicker. He made 5. He missed one. His first one of 3 weeks. He missed it the other day last week. It was like a 56-yarder or something. He made a 56-yarder. Today he was 5 out of 6 in field goals. His longest was 53. So, pretty much the usual Bailey perfection.
Consistent,
close enough.
Great Dan Bailey. It's at least one part that we definitely don't have to worry about. Very consistent, very hardworking.
Yeah, so
my favorite player.
Jumping onto the defense now, guys. Jaylon Smith, I know you guys want to talk about him.
Yeah, so of course the most exciting news is that he should be playing in this upcoming game on Saturday against the Colts.
And guys, that game is at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and that's when we'll be starting ours here too. So make sure you remember to jump on here around 7 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday night. But yeah, he was out there, number 54, looking good again. Now, he was with the second team, and he was full pads, which is a good sign, but he was with the second team playing middle linebacker which is fine. You know, right now they're just working in slowly. He actually, to finish the practice, he actually sacked Kellen Moore. Now, of course, you can't hit the quarterback, but it was a sack. He was on him. He just kind of tagged him and kept running. It was an awesome play. He's getting that speed. Every day, he's just looking better, guys. So if anybody else is going to play us this year and is doubting Jaylon Smith, be prepared to be a little bit shocked.
Yeah, again, we don't doubt the Cowboys aren't going to be conservative with their playing of him. They're not just going to throw him in there and run him ragged. But when he's in there, as he continues to, you know, play, if he continues to play at the level he's playing now, I have no doubt that he's going to be a major playmaker on our defense.
Yeah, and not only that, but also, even like you said, they're going to take it slow with him. But by mid-season, I think if he's going to be explosive. If there's no setbacks and no major issues, I think you'll see him playing a lot more, and he'll be starting and really doing some damage on offensive teams, you know, against the offense. So that'll be interesting to see what Jaylon Smith can do. But like I said, he's looking good. He got a sack. He's moving out there. He's playing with the second team. And we're looking forward to seeing him this weekend.
Yeah, and I definitely agree. How about them Cowboys? Dan Bailey is hands down, I think, the best kicker in the NFL.
So
he might not be able to, you know, who is this? Justin Tucker might be able to make longer ones, but like you said, Dan Bailey is just very consistent, very accurate.
That's the thing, yeah. Bailey doesn't kick him like the farthest in the world. You know? He's not like the super leg. He can kick him 55 and closer.
But he will consistently
He'll make them all
55 and closer.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
That's what you want.
Consistency, you know, is a big value in a kicker. We've seen, you know, supposedly great kickers like Roberto or Robert Aguayo, something like that.
He wasn't that good.
I mean, he's one of the highest picked kickers
in history,
ever, second round.
From Tampa Bay, as you guys know, and he was cut because he misses extra points left and right. He did horrible last season.
Exactly. He had a horrible start to training camp, got cut, and recently picked up by the Bears, but it still goes to show that consistency matters.
Yeah.
So talent's not enough.
Yeah. So now I'm going to jump onto the defensive side. Like I said, well, we were on the defense, and we talked about Bailey again, but Jaylon Smith, we talked about him. Now, these guys were not in pads today and did not practice in the afternoon practice. Jordan Lewis, who was out there starting as the slot corner in the nickel defense, but he was not out there with the hitting today. He was not in pads. He's probably doing some individual drills, but not in pads. So that's one guy. Anthony Brown, of course, he was out there in the walkthrough as well, starting as one of the outside cornerbacks. He was also not out there for the padded practice for the team drills. Sean Lee, just precautionary, but again, his hamstring. All three guys hamstring. You know, or actually Jordan Lewis. I don't know, was he? Yeah, I think all three of the guys are hamstring. Sean Lee. We don't want our leader, number 50, to tweak his hamstring again. So he did not do. He was not in the practice today as far as the hits and stuff like that. He was in the walkthrough on the field.
Reminds me of Jamie Collins. Is that?
Jamie. Yeah. No. I mean,
Collins?
I actually agree.
Oh, okay,
yeah. No, I actually agree.
Boomer deleted his message. So.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, it's alright.
Oh,
not a big deal.
All right. I think it makes sense. I think I know what you're talking about, and I kind of agree. He kind of looks like him. He's built like him. So let me just go through this here. Now, Cheeto, all right? Chidobe Awuzie. He, unfortunately, was one of the guys that really had, I would say, the least practice today. One of the guys who really didn't do anything that much today.
And again, for a very unfortunate fact, he did tweak his ankle last week, which is why he wasn't playing.
And that was pregame. That was the pregame of the Rams game. He hurt himself.
And then additionally, he has a hamstring injury, which is again becoming par for the course for this Cowboys training camp 2017.
Hamstring here, hamstring there, hamstring everywhere.
Guys, I mean, everybody's hamstrings just like, I don't know, go home, take a rest, take a nap.
Man, I can't wait to get out. They get out of California. Maybe it'll be better for them to be at the Star in Frisco,
Dallas air.
In Frisco, Texas, where they have their practice facility. Now, guys, another guy I want to talk about injury-wise, Justin Durant. Now, we haven't heard anything about him. He has not been in one padded practice this whole entire training camp, preseason, whatever. Justin Durant, number 52. He's a veteran. He's a Cowboy from years past. They brought him back again. He was almost retired. And he's just an older player, so they kind of wanted to, kind of ease him in. Now, today, he was taken off the PUP, which is a physically unable to perform list. He was on that list. They took him off that list today. He passed his physical. He's ready. He's all guns blazing, basically. He's ready to go. But it was an elbow injury, too. That's what they claim. It was an elbow injury from who knows when, maybe in the offseason. Who knows? But he passed physical. He's off the PUP list. He's ready to roll. He was in, he was in the walkthroughs, but he didn't actually do any hitting today. So, but keep in mind, very soon, if not this weekend, it'll be next weekend for sure.
So much like Tyron Smith, because this, Durant is a veteran, they are gonna just let him take it easy. Yeah. He knows our system. He knows what he needs to do. He just needs to go out there and you know, polish it up, practice it a bit. So there is absolutely no rush in holding off and waiting, especially when it comes to some of our older veteran guys. I mean, like we said, he was going to retire.
And guys, remember something very important about Justin Durant. We have Hitchens, we have Lee, but who's our third guy? Wilson? He's suspended. Wilbert? I mean, he's okay, but is he as good as Justin Durant? And we need Durant out there. He's really our third guy. And with Mark Nasacha? No. So, I mean, I'm just saying, Jaylon Smith still not going to be starting. So, again, guys, we need Durant out there. And, again, it's not that it's a really major issue with him. It's just more of an age thing, but they're just easing him back in. Hopefully, we'll see him this week a little bit. But if not, he'll be all right. He'll play the last two probably. Probably the next one for sure. He'll be playing. So
how about them Cowboys said, I think Taco Charlton proved he'll be better than Reuben Foster.
Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
Wait. And then no linebacker, Andrew Gakkar back to Dallas Cowboys. He is with the Jaguars and ex-Cowboys safety Barry Church.
Yeah, that's all right. We don't want Gakkar. I didn't say Gakkar. Nasacha. He's the one that's back. And we got Durant back, of course. But Nasacha might not make the team. But Gakkar is with the Jags. Yeah, he wasn't that good, guys. In the Saints game a couple years ago, if you remember, when the overtime, he blew a coverage. I won't forget that. I'm glad he's not on the team anymore. But Justin Durant, I've seen a lot from him when he was with the Cowboys, and I think he's improved every season. And he's kind of leveled out to a very consistent linebacker. So I think he'll be the guy playing the third linebacker spot in our 4-3 defense. So look for him to be back this week in practice and next week, you know, and during the game this week and next week and so on.
Exactly. And again, who knows? Because he was going to retire, does that mean that we're going to see him, you know, kind of, I don't want to say go out with a bang, but kind of really give it his all this year, knowing that possibly it could be his last year playing professional football?
We shall see.
So, and again, we'll see.
Yeah, now Matthew, 1, 2, 3. And I know that Holloway also made a comment about the trade and Jordan Matthews, or not Jordan, what's his name? The receiver went to the Bills in the trade.
One of them was named Matthew.
He hurt his elbow the first day of practice. I think someone said that. Yeah,
Here, give me a second. Let me go back and look.
No, yeah, Holloway I think said that, or Eagle fan. One of the Eagle fans said that, and I heard about that. I just kind of laughing to myself at the same time. You guys got lucky. You guys got rid of a receiver who I didn't think that was that good.
Yeah, Jordan Matthews got injured on his first day of practice. I mean,
lucky Eagles
again,
got rid of him around time.
We never want to hear about injuries in general in this league, guys. You know, we don't want any guys injured, so we wish him the best of luck recovering, and you know, just a crappy way to start the season off.
Now, going back to the injury guys, you know, we went with Sean Lee, Cheeto, Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, and Justin Durant. I wanted to also say, you know, Tyron Smith did not go in pads, and we talked about him, I think, and Butler was there playing, you know, in team practice, team drills, and full pads. So was Chaz Green playing left tackle in place of Tyron Smith. But I want to mention this guy here, Xavier Woods, guys. I know everyone loves Xavier Woods. Before I go into him, everybody hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't already to keep up with our live streams and notification
bell. Hit that
bell.
little bell next to it so you don't miss any updates on our live streams.
I've seen a couple new names. That's why I just want to make sure you guys are on board here. But Xavier Woods, guys. Here's more bad news. Nothing major. I don't want to make it sound like it's like a major thing. We're not depressed. We're not depressed about it.
But he did unfortunately suffer an injury today and towards the end of practice.
Now they don't know what it was. What happened was, and again, this is what they're saying here. He was seen rehabbing and conditioning on the sidelines. He was in pads, but he was rehabbing and conditioning. He wasn't in the team practices. He was not hitting. So number 25, he's a rookie, 6th round pick. He looked awesome. I'd say he was our player of the game on defense. Overall, in that Rams game on Saturday, I think he played fantastic. Everybody who looked at him, Cowboy haters or Cowboy lovers, he did fantastic. Yeah,
one of the best defensive players of that whole game, you know.
For sure.
Xavier Woods. Zone, thanks for joining us.
TC. What up?
So, so unfortunately, and again, we're not really sure.
Yeah, nobody knows what the injury was. It could have just been, again, I don't want to say a tweaked hamstring, because that's all I ever hear from Cowboys
camp. Or general body soreness.
Well, I'd rather hear that than a tweaked hamstring, because those things linger and are pain in the butt. So we don't want that to happen to Xavier Woods after a great game he had the other day. We don't know if it happened in practice. You said it may have happened in practice, but I don't know if it happened in practice. He was in full pads, so that means they expected him out there, but for some reason something happened somewhere. I don't know if it was a lingering injury from the Rams game maybe. He was a little sore, and he thought he could go out there and he couldn't do it. But either way, listen, guys, it's precautionary. I just want to let you know, though, that he was injured. He did not play in the pads today. Probably minor injury, but he was.
Either way, we'll definitely have more updates for you on that tomorrow, whether or not he is doing walkthroughs, practicing in pads, or if they are going to have him sit out, conditioning, whatever it is, we'll definitely let you guys know.
For sure. And I want to mention another guy who we haven't talked about too much this whole entire camp. He's got a DUI. He's going to be probably suspended a game or two at least.
Former Eagle,
Nolan Carroll, another defensive back. Our cornerback, And he looked fantastic today, guys, in practice and in team drills. The guy, he had 2 interceptions, one on Moore and one on Dak. He was playing, he covered Terrence Newman, how dare I? He covered Terrence Williams, fantastic today. I don't think it was a great pass by Dak, but nonetheless, you know, he picked him off. Nolan Carroll was in the position he was supposed to be. He wasn't getting burned. Again, you know, he had 2 interceptions. And I think a play or two later, Dak was kind of upset about that interception. He went deep. But this time, it was to Dez, and Dez was on, Byron Jones was on Dez, and he was playing him straight up man-to-man, up on very close on bump coverage, and Dez just burned him deep. Perfect pass by Dak, touchdown. And, you know, in their little team warm-up, team game.
So a little bit of redemption there, but you can definitely tell that interception was on his mind. Yeah,
on Dak's mind. But it's good that we see Carroll out there flying around doing stuff. We need all the help we can get, especially veteran help. And I don't count on Carroll being that good. But we want 6 this year, guys. 6 is what we want.
Exactly. So we've talked before about how lackluster our turnover and, you know, interceptions have kind of been.
Well, they drop a lot of these interceptions. They hit their hands. But we were top 5 in scoring defense. So we could have been first if we had got those picks last year, and instead of going right through Byron Jones's hand or Carr, or, you know, we can keep going down the list of the guys that most of them aren't even here anymore. That dropped a lot of passes. But Byron Jones has improved a lot with his catch, so look forward to that too.
Yeah, let's definitely hope that the Cowboys can hold on to some of those balls this year.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites for you know, with Sean Lee as team leader this year on defense. Byron Jones, number 31. Love the way he plays.
So Dan Skipper is going to make this team. I'm calling it, said Mr. Wright.
I like it. I like that.
Said Xavier Woods should replace Byron Jones. I'm not sure about that.
Hell no. Who said that?
No, I just.
No, who said that? Boomer? Boomer, I like what you've been saying, but I don't like that one. I'm going to be honest with you, because Byron Jones is our number 1 guy. Xavier Woods might replace Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath, to me, is not that. I've said this to you. I've said this in other videos and other live streams. I'm going to keep saying it. He has not shown me too much. He's not a good tackler. He only picks off Jameis Winston, it seems, or the Buccaneers. I mean, he doesn't. I know he had one against the Packers. He got luck. Whatever. Look, he just happened to be in the right place, right time. I don't have any confidence in Jeff Heath. Now, I want him to show us something. I want these training camps, and more so the preseason games, to him to come out and do something. He hasn't done anything yet, guys. Byron Jones has been all over the field. There's no way he's leaving that field this year. So he's going to be a team leader with Sean Lee. You bet your butt on that. Now, Jeff Heath, we don't know yet. Right now he's a starter, but for how long? And I think Xavier Woods, if he stays healthy and he continues to do what he's doing, I think you're going to see a good sign in him maybe making a push to take over Jeff Heath's spot. If by midseason, if things go bad for Heath, which we hope not, but, you know, Xavier Woods is a small guy. He's tiny. He's aggressive and he's tiny. And it depends on if he's strong safety or free safety. I don't know if someone's making a point there about that, but either way, I think.
As Shallow House said, Xavier Woods is safety. Jones is cornerback.
No, Byron Jones plays cornerback and plays safety, but he started at cornerback for us in his rookie year. Then he moved over to safety last year, and this year he's going to be playing safety. He plays safety. Just letting you know, Shallow House.
Yep. So, and then TC Sports Zone. I don't know if you talked about the Zeke suspension, so we'll give you a quick update. We did talk about the Zeke suspension earlier.
Before we go into that, I just want to ask a question. I'm sorry, you can take it over. But Barry B, what are you saying? Xavier Woods will eventually take which job though? Heath? I believe Heath, but nobody's taking Byron Jones' job, number 31. He's not losing it, guys. I don't know where that came from. He's one of our best players. He's been playing fantastic this training camp. So Byron Jones will be there, guaranteed it. Now Jeff Heath, number 38, probably not, and that's where I see Xavier Woods making a push, maybe in the middle of the year or before, to maybe make a move at that. And also Cheeto, I think he can play both. He's kind of like Byron Jones. He can play. He's a cornerback, but he can play safety too.
Safety as well.
And he can play linebacker in a dime package where it's like 6 defensive coverage guys. He'll be the linebacker in that lineup at times. If it's 3rd and 13 or 3rd and 17, Cheeto will be out there. So you can look for him too, making a push at that. But I think Xavier Woods is more of a raw talent. He needs a little more time out there, a little more experience, kind of like Rico Gathers, which we haven't even talked about. We talked so much about him the last two videos. So, but again, the raw talent is great, and he looked so good, Xavier Woods, that I would not be surprised if he takes over for Heath. So, okay, back to the question about Zeke, which we spoke about earlier. We'll go through the points again.
Just a very quick recap. They will be appealing, but they are going to wait until as late as possible to file the appeal. So sometime tomorrow we should be hearing about that. In regards to that, Ezekiel Elliott's dad did post some new evidence stating, just kind of backing up
more like claims.
More backing up their claims, their statements saying that, her testimony isn't credible. You know, and just more information about how involved Roger Goodell was actually in the investigation, that finds out he was not involved in the investigation at all, that the four investigators. Yeah, the 4 investigators were in charge of the investigation. They took their findings to Goodell, who made the final call on it. So we're not sure how that is going to affect anything either.
But it's definitely going to help the appeal.
So other than that, you know, we'll file the appeal. If the appeal is denied, then obviously it'll go to court, and we'll see what the next step is after that.
Yeah.
So until then, not much to say on that, guys.
Well, there was another thing that Zeke brought up, and he's bringing it up again. I think they brought it up already too.
That he filed harassment charges? He
filed harassment charges, and I was saying this earlier, I don't think I actually finished my statement, but when he filed harassment charges because she called him 50 plus times, and it's from a block number, from her number, they traced it all back to her. She was calling him. This is 2 or 3 months after the alleged beating of a week worth of beating that he gave her, which no evidence points to that. It points to her having a fight at the bar, at a club that night. That's the only evidence she has of any kind of bruising where it could have come from. Other than that, he can't prove he didn't hit her or hit her because there's no proof. They want him to prove that he didn't do it. He said he can't do it. He didn't do it. She says he did, and they're taking her side. So when you look at the bruises, you look at the fight she had with the girl that he was with, or she thought he was with, because they just broke up. 3 months later, she's calling Zeke at his home 50 plus times at 2:30 in the morning, all the way for an hour straight. He had to call the cops. He had to file harassment charges, you know, on her, which was, you know, and the next day, the police department dropped the charges on Zeke because he was still under investigation by the police. The prosecution dropped the charges. I think the next day or two, they dropped the charges. The police dropped the charges. No evidence against Zeke. Yet, almost a year later, NFL makes up something to make a point about the domestic violence, that they're a hard stance on domestic violence. Even if he's innocent, we're going to ruin his life, we're going to ruin his name, we're going to hurt his career.
Exactly. So like you said, guys,
it's a shame, Goodell.
We'll definitely keep you updated.
Shame.
And the NFL definitely is not handling this, you know, the way that I think they should. No matter what, they weren't going to look the greatest in this situation. But at this point, they're just making themselves look worse. But
Tiffany Thompson is a stalker. It's a great description of that incident, of that situation. But she's also crazy because she really wanted to be. She made threats to him, calling him that he's a black male and she's a white girl. So of course they're going to believe her. They're not going to believe him. These are claims. They've already heard her say, more than one person has testified to this under oath, that they've heard her, you know, her say that she's going to ruin his career. That she, you know, you can't break up with me. You're gonna pay for this. She's ready. You know, we have everything on Twitter. What she posted, what she had in her cell phone, trying to get her friends to lie for her to make Zeke look like he did something wrong, which was proven. Which was proven in these texts and in the court testimonies that they have sworn under oath. That everybody saw this happening. Saw her getting in a fight with somebody. Everybody saw this. Like 4 or 5 people saw this. It was like 2 definite eyewitness accounts that were sworn testimony. But the NFL decided to choose to take Tiffany Thompson's friend's unsworn, not under oath testimony against Zeke, which obviously sounds like she got them on her side to then say, oh yeah, tell the NFL this, not the courts.
Exactly.
NFL.
So it just, again, it's something about it.
So shady.
Just does not seem right, but you know, let's let the appeals process go through, let the lawyers do their jobs, and let the evidence speak for itself, guys.
Now, I'm going to go through some of these questions real quick. I want to answer these here. So, first off, I'm going to go from the top here.
Give me just one moment. I will be right back, guys. Give me just one
minute. Good. I get to concentrate with you guys for a second here. All right, so let me go to the top of what I'm seeing here on this page here. Talked about safety. Okay, let's see. Heath is a baller on special teams. I agree with you on TC Sports Zone. Heath is a baller on special teams. That is correct. But he's not a baller on safety. And he's starting right now, so I don't like him there. Byron Jones, best secondary guy. How about them Cowboys? Byron Jones, best secondary guy. Only reason, okay, that's because of the Green Bay fan. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's not because the Green Bay. Okay, because he blew the play. Yeah, it wasn't only his fault, guys. Rodgers had way too much time to throw the ball. It would not have gotten that far. He covered him across the field. He covered from one point of the field, Cook from one point of the field to the other side of the field. Byron Jones can only stay with, you know, anybody, the best cover guys can only stay with somebody so long. And Rodgers had way too much time to throw that ball. So they got us, though, but they won't get us next time. You will not get us next time. Now, let's see. Mr. Wright, the guy we aren't talking about, number 26, Duke Thomas. He has been everywhere in the field. Yeah, guy, let me tell you, he definitely entered into my sights this last game. He played fantastic, I think. Duke, I mean, Duke Thomas played very well. He kept sticking out every play. I would say, who is that guy? Who is that guy? Thomas. Who? And it was, you can watch the stream. You can see him. I love the way he played. He definitely is making a drive to either, I don't know if he's going to make the 53-man roster, but the practice squad, I think he's got a good chance. He's definitely making a name for himself right now. Let's see how the next 3 games go. Let's see. I wanted Heath to start, yet okay, so how about them Cowboys? I wanted Heath to start, yet he might not start. So, well, he will. I think he will start because of the young rookies. I think after a couple of games, or maybe a quarter of the season, or maybe halfway through the season, definitely halfway through the season, I think Heath will be gone from his starting position. He'll be special teams, at least this season. But I think that you'll see Xavier Woods or Chidobe up there playing, Cheeto playing safety maybe a little bit too. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. It'll be interesting. Now, Boomer Sooner. I don't like Heath. Thank you. Ding. We're on the same page there. Barry B. Jeff Heath. Job. I think he will start next to Byron Jones right around week 3 or 4. Well, no, I think he's going to start week 1. But I think by week 3 or 4, you might be hearing the call for him to again, I hope he does well enough so we don't have to worry. It means we're winning games. But I think that if Heath starts, I think after 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks after the bye, you might see him losing his job to someone like Xavier Woods or Cheeto. Might get more playing time in that spot and taking over for Heath. They might ease him into that. Let's see here. Goodell is more than lazy, and he's a freaking loser, and he's a bad commissioner. Probably the worst. Definitely the worst. I thought Tagliabue was bad. I like Pete Rozelle was good. He put football kind of like on the mainstream map more so than it was before that, but he brought it from nothing to something. Rozelle. Tagliabue, I never liked him, but hey, I didn't think we'd get someone this bad like Roger Goodell. Man, this guy's the worst. So Shallow Hal. The starting quarterbacks are Skandrick and Nolan Carroll. Who are their backups? Okay, so Shallow Hal. I said earlier in this stream that this is what they showed in a nickel defense, the Cowboys with their cornerbacks. They had Orlando Skandrick, number 32, playing one corner. They had Anthony Brown, who I think is really good, number 30, playing the other corner. And then in the slot, they had Jordan Lewis, which I like to hear that name. I want to see what this guy can do, number 27. So again, Jordan Lewis, those are the 3 starters in the nickel, which is surprising because usually Skandrick plays a slot. Now, Jordan Lewis can play slot, corner. He can play all over the field, so that's a good sign for him, for that situation. But again, just seeing Jordan Lewis out there, they're trying to see where he's at and what he's up to. Carroll was not a starter, which is surprising. But I'm telling you right now, it must have woke him up because in the padded practice later this afternoon, he made 2 picks on one on Dak and one on Kellen Moore. He didn't really get burned today, so maybe he lit a fire in his butt. So we'll see what happens. But right now, if you look at it this way, it looks like it's going to be Carroll as the backup for now. And again, he's going to miss the first game or 2 for sure with the DUI. But you're going to have Carroll as a backup from going by today's walkthrough lineup. Yeah, so. Carroll's a backup, and Chidobe, well, he didn't do the back, but he would be the backup in this situation. Marquez White, Duke Thomas, these are the guys that are the backups to those 3 guys I just mentioned, which would be Skandrick, Brown, and Jordan Lewis.
So,
I'm going down the list here.
Hollywood, just to touch on will the Eagles win the division now? I don't think you guys will win the division, but I am going to say one thing. I think that the Eagles are a bigger threat to the Cowboys than even the Giants. Really? I think it's starting to be. I think it's starting to be. No, I think that I think that you guys have the potential to be. I think that the Giants, I'm seeing more problems, and especially with that offensive line and just like some other. And again, Odell looks better than ever, I have to say. But
looking good. But Des making the one-handed ones too.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say.
It's not all about the one-handed catches.
And it's not just about Odell. That's what I'm trying to say. Take away Odell, and the Giants are defensively a very good team, but offensively not a very good team. I think the Eagles are better balanced.
I will say that the Giants
and I think that they have better answers to the things that we have. I don't know. I
disagree.
Obviously,
I disagree with
I'm sure I might change my mind again, but right now, that's just the way that I'm leaning.
So here's what I see it, Holly, is that I do think the Eagles. We said this on the beginning of the season, and again, I know we didn't have our we just started. It was a preseason for us when we did the video about the Eagles and the Giants and the Redskins and the Cowboys. So a lot of things have changed since then. We might have made a mistake or 2 in those videos, but by the end of this preseason, we're going to make a video for each team. Concentrating on the starters of each team in the NFC East, and we're going to do a rundown those 10 days before the season starts, at the end of preseason and season starting. But I will say that I never said the Eagles are not going to do good. Or even the Redskins.
No, I agree.
It's going to be close, and this NFC East is hard. It's going to be all of the teams will be fighting it out. Even if the Giants and Eagles play, it's going to be close. Even if you guys have guys hurt or they have guys hurt, it's going to be a close matchup. It always is with everybody in the NFC East. So just expect something like that. I know I saw that one. I like Hollywood. I love that. If that's the one you're reading, right? About what do they call what do they call guys? What is that called? Anybody know?
The what?
The little munchkin-looking bears. What are they called in Star Wars?
The Wookiees?
No, Wookiee. Was it? I don't think so. Wookiee?
Yeah.
Was it?
I think like Chewbacca and stuff.
No, right? Chewbacca. No, the little troll-looking things. Whatever. Anyway, I know you're talking about. No, not Yoda. Maybe the one I showed you earlier. The picture of the two. Like now I know what Zeke looks like, and he had a helmet on, and one was like a regular face. Remember the one with the.
Oh.
What is that? Little,
yeah. Well,
yeah. Little things. But
sorry, guys. I'm not into the. I don't do Star Wars.
Me neither. But I know what you're talking about.
One.
Definitely, Ollie looks just like him. He does. That's true. Now, Mr. Wright, I don't like the idea of Cheeto at safety. If it's not Heath, give me Woods or Frazier and let it play out. I didn't like moving Jones to safety either. All right. Well, I mean, Jones is safety, and again, I know you're saying, but right now, safeties are a weak spot. I think right now, especially with Heath. I like Jones where he's doing what he's doing at currently. You know, he's had 2 years under his belt at safety, 1 year as corner. I think he'll be. I mean, I'm sorry. He had 1 year as a corner / safety, and then he had the rest of the last year he has full safety. So, I mean, I think we're going to be fine with him there.
I agree.
I don't feel good with Frazier or Leon McFadden. You know, I don't feel good with those. I mean, I'm sorry, McFadden's a cornerback, so scratch that. But Frazier, I don't feel comfortable with him. I've seen him play out there. He blows a lot of coverages. I don't like him. Woods, I'd rather see Woods out there than Heath. I don't think he's going to keep the job. But as all Cowboy fans here, or the ones that are here talking, we want him. We want Heath to make the team and start and play the whole year because that means we're doing good. He's doing good in coverage now. Tobias, hey, how you doing, Argentina? Back again. How about them Cowboys? He blew that play. Yeah, I know. But he is a great. He didn't blow that play. I want to just read. I don't know if you were here when I said it, but it was more of the fact that they allowed Aaron Rodgers to have 7 seconds to throw the damn ball. Once you give any quarterback that much time, Deion Sanders will blow the coverage eventually. So you can't expect him to stay across from one end of the field, from the right side of the field. The receiver went all the way across to the left side of the field, and he caught it after he literally did a slant that kept going.
An Ewok.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry guys. It's my son's the Star Wars one. I am.
Yeah. So the Ewok. Zeke looks like a little Ewok. I agree. That's funny. Now let's see here again. Giants D will be in trouble. Eagles will have a defense. Eagles have a decent defense. Giants have a really good defense, but the Giants' trouble is offensive line / running back.
And the Eagles.
And they still have Brandon Marshall. I know you kind of brushed over him real quick, but the Giants have Brandon Marshall. Don't sleep on him. He's a big, strong receiver, like a Dez-style guy. So again, he's going to give us problems. But I do think that Sterling Shepard's going to be a little bit tweaked up with his ankle. And after that it goes down, and they don't have any blocking. So Eli's an interception machine, in my opinion, and he's not consistent. So
I don't know. I think that the Eagles have a pretty strong defensive line, and I think that if they can do a better job this year of stopping the pass, which is really what killed them last year. I mean. They could shut down the run pretty well. They have a few answers for a lot of things that we have. Yeah. So, but the biggest thing, guys, is of course, can they stop us from passing the ball? And honestly, I think that because Dak has improved on that, it comes down to how they're going to play. I just, for some reason, I just feel like the Eagles are going to be a bigger threat overall than the Giants because I see the Giants going downhill fast this year for some reason. I know they have all these other offensive weapons or something, but for some reason, something about their team is just not clicking this year. Maybe it's just about the Giants. Maybe it's just an optimistic Cowboys fan, but I don't know.
I see a lot of Giant guys dancing in the locker room and rubbing up against each other. I don't know. We saw a lot of that. The thing is that they looked very comfortable with each other.
Yeah, well, maybe a little too comfortable, but that's just my
that's Odell back there. What do you expect? But
when I get that feeling.
Don't even remind me about that video. You guys saw that video last season, towards the end of the season, with Odell coming out of the hot tub? Yeah, this is erase that from our memories.
All right, guys.
Giant fans would definitely want to.
Yeah, I'm just letting you guys know we are going to be wrapping up our stream pretty soon.
Shortly.
Yeah,
about almost an hour. So about 5 more minutes or so, we'll be wrapping it up. But I like these discussions, guys. I like what you guys are saying. Let me see here. Let me see. What did I miss at the top
Eagles
there?
don't have a good second. No. So PFF ranked our front seven number 3. Our safeties are really good. Now we have Darby. Tobias said, Eagles don't have a good secondary, mediocre linebackers, good D-line, great O-line, bad running back, bad wide receivers, and a good quarterback. So Alabama defense against Giant offense. Alabama would shut down Odell, make Eli look like a third-string QB. And then bad wide receivers, so...
I'm going to go back on Barry B's question about Rico getting some 2 tight end sets this year. Do you think it'll make an impact? Listen, today's practice, they were lining up with Witten and Rico, guys. Witten and Rico. I love that. If Rico can block a little better and get more experience under his belt, boy, you're going to see something you can't stop this year when it comes to the Cowboys, with or without Zeke. I don't give a damn. But you're going to see an unstoppable force this season. I mean, we already have 5 receivers. And now we're going to have 2 catching tight ends. And, any of these running backs that we have can catch out of the backfield. So Zeke, McFadden, Morris is getting better. And, of course, Ronnie Hillman if he makes a team. So we got a lot of guys here ready to really take, just a passing option left and right. We have like 7 passing options every play. And we still want to run. We want to stick to the run this whole season. We want to stick to pounding the ball, controlling the clock, resting our defense. That's the main thing there. And if we don't have breakaway touchdown plays by Zeke, okay, so we have a longer drive maybe. We just got to sustain drives. We did it last year. I think we'll be able to do it again this year with McFadden and the rest of the squad. So I think we're okay there.
Cowboys, by the way, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
Take it easy, How about the Cowboys? Yeah. And again, guys, it's a good time here because we're going to shut it down soon. But make sure you guys hit like if you enjoy this, or if not, hit like. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already. Click the little bell notification so you get our live streams when they come on. And, we love this interaction with you guys. This actually started because the practices in California for the Cowboys are running so late. We want to make sure we get all the information from the end of the day to you guys and for us to have everything correct as well. So that's why we wait till after everyone else's streams. We want to make sure we give you the closing kind of closeout of the day's updates. So that's why they're a little later. We appreciate you guys staying up and watching this with us. Usually we make videos. We were planning to make just daily videos and then live streaming only on weekend on the game day. But this is going so late that it's easier to live stream and just talk directly to you guys right after we get the information. And if this continues going the way it's going, I mean, it seems like you guys are pretty much like this too, and you guys have good interaction with us. So we might be doing this even more often as the season goes on. Maybe more live streams than regular videos, or 2-3 minute video clips. We will have some of those though coming out soon. Some little special things about our family, football related mostly, but some not, and some funny little stuff that I have stored away as well from 9 or 10 years ago, which I think you guys will like. Coming soon.
So, and some good news, guys. So I've been trying to find out a little bit more about Xavier Woods' injury, soreness, whatever it is. It looks like he was on Hanging with the Boys today, and he said that he was sore, trying to push through. The training camp is very physical. Xavier Woods. So again,
it's just precautionary, guys.
Yeah. So it looks like, and again, honestly, between training camp and that game, he took a lot of serious hits. I mean, these guys have to get used to that as well. So, hopefully he just needs some rest, a little bit of,
Yeah, no, we'll see. I mean, I think he'll be back out there. It's all precautionary. You can bet your butt he's going to be out there for game day. If it's, since it's not serious, he'll definitely be out there, guys. Let's see, any other things here? Boom. Let's see, okay, listen, guys. It sounds like you guys have a good discussion going on in your little chat there, too. Over here on East Coast time, it's 11 p.m. So we're going to wrap this up. We do appreciate you guys joining us. We've been on here for over an hour.
Yeah. So
throwing you all the information. If you guys want, if you guys want to go back on and see anything you missed earlier, we had a lot of information today. A lot of stuff because we had like basically 2 days off in a way. You had Saturday's game and you had Sunday off. So it's like there's really no practice for a couple of days. It's just the game, and then there was like a day before that. There was no practice. The day after, there's no practice. So we had the game stream, and then we have a lot of updates today, a lot of injury updates earlier in the stream. We talked about it. So go back on if you want to check it out. I see our unbelievably awesome flags banners about to fall. So we're logging out of here.
So, but again, guys, thank you so much for joining us. We'll catch you tomorrow with another update on the Cowboys. And as always, don't forget.
What? Huh?
Wait, what?
Go Cowboys! That's right, baby, forever.
All right,
now
guys, catch you
and
next
forever.
time.
Take care, guys, and go Cowboys.